Yikes!
Yeah,
oh, fuck!
Don't. I think you just rattled it. I think you just.
We're gonna rattle some cages.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike. He's just goddamn.
You remind me of the guy from Dr. Pepper. You know, he's like, "What's a Dr. Pepper?"
Batman vs Superman Ultimate Edition.
Yes,
The Ultimate Warrior! Why not? Hulk Hogan, the Hulkamaniacs, don't know that I bring the thunder from the mountaintops.
Biff Bagwell.
The Ultimate Warrior always made no sense.
I liked him.
You know, I loved him too, but he would be like, you know, hey, Ultimate Warrior, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna take down Andre the Giant? He's like,
I'll bring the warriors from the mountaintops of Senhea, and then I'll go through a car wash.
Mom.
where did that go?
What?
What are we doing?
I don't know. Why did I say
That
Mom?
wine smells bad.
Take it in.
That's how seriously.
Smell it!
Seriously sucks a dick just like that.
That's how I'm planning to suck lots of dicks later.
Awesome. So, Batman vs Superman, the Ultimate Edition. We finally got a chance to watch it. Yes.
I had to buy the fucking thing. You
I know.
can't just rent it.
It's bullshit. It's like the digital exclusive thing, so we had to do what we had to do. But the thing is, this is definitely the version that should have been released initially. I think that it would have solved a lot of problems.
Yeah, well, I mean,
okay, I'm not saying everything. Okay, by the way, the fuckers that hate this movie, those sons of bitches brought the war to us. So we gotta defend them. But no, this is the movie I
Rotten
think...
Tomatoes goes if even 1%. We have to take it as an absolute threat.
I have nothing. But yes, it is a movie. I think that this specific version could have solved a lot of the hate, because the plot holes that people go back to and they hearken to, the haters, the detractors from this movie, there's no character development, things that don't make sense. They go back with this with subtle little changes that actually give you a complete story. It's like, you know what? Somebody painted the Mona Lisa and forgot to put Lisa in it. So they put Lisa in it. Oh, Whistler's mother, and then. The mother's in there.
Whistling eye, vagina.
It means vagina.
No, I see what you're saying. Oh, here's my take on it.
Okay.
Okay? I think two things, weird things. I think as a rated R version of the movie, which this whole thing has kind of changed places. At first, it was supposed to be, oh my god, they're releasing an R-rated cut with more scenes in it. Everybody's like, yay, R-rated. And then, since the Rotten Tomatoes scores came out, everything shifted a little bit. Now, everybody's saying, oh, this is the version that people are supposed to like that doesn't have editing issues. So, as a rated R movie, as like a rated R update, I think in a way, it's disappointing. Yeah. There's only a couple little scenes. It's a couple blood splatters. Scoot McNairy's it's funny as fuck though. Scoot McNairy, when Lex Luthor's in his apartment, spoilers by the way, when Lex Luthor's in his apartment, instead of saying, well, what are you doing here? He's sitting there, he's like, well, who are you? He's like, I'm a man that's here to help you stand for something or whatever. He's like, what the fuck do you want?
What you would say, I mean, you don't want the Prince Valiant dude just sitting in your fucking like house. He's like,
so good.
that makes more sense, so that's more realistic.
I spit out my drink when he said that. I was like, okay, what the fuck do you want? It's like in Rockstar, he's like, why don't you tell me what the fuck that has to do with me?
This is my mic stand and I'm taking it. But it was a cool, actually that made more sense. It kind of, what the fuck, you know, it does make more sense. Why were you just going to be like, what do you want? Like, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like, oh, by the way, if you're going to go dark with the movie, just go all the way.
Well, yeah, I'm still talking about the rated R stuff though. Like,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, well, I mean, they didn't do much with the rated R scenes. I mean, there's not a lot more as far as rated R goes. There's a couple blood splatters, a couple more people get shot in the fucking face, and then the
violence is over more.
Amy Adams says, "Goddamn!" Once the scene in the tub is extended for just a second
because she's like, he takes his shirt off. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, but then he maybe puts the tip in. She squeezes his back a little.
He does have Superman genes, so his dick probably came through his jeans.
It just goes to show how fucking stupid the censorship is. Like, oh well, you can get the tub with her, but you can't press up against.
Well,
her.
we talked about this off camera for a second too. According to Mike, there is no off camera time, but we did.
We don't exist.
It's a paradox.
We live in this fucking.
It's a fucking thing.
We live in a phone, man.
Do we? I felt weird. I felt like I was contained for some reason. But no, there's one scene specifically when Bruce Wayne wakes up and the nameless girl, they cut out, the censors didn't like the fact that he popped pain pills and then drank wine on top of it. Yeah. And they were like, no, that's fine. He can chug a half fucking thing of wine, and he just fucked a girl that nobody knows, and that's okay.
That's called
the pain pills. No way. That's a standard.
Who doesn't do that?
I do that.
I mean, we want movies to be realistic.
Hey, before I go to church, I do it. What?
How else do you start the fucking day?
I mean,
right?
how do you sit through?
You know, but there's a couple of blood spatters. There's one scene that maybe goes towards the rated R-ness of it, and let's go ahead and put this out there right now. My favorite scene of the whole movie was this one scene where Batman, fucking huge as he is, I have no idea why they cut this out. It had to be the rated R thing because no one knows what he did down below. But Batman in the warehouse scene steps up to somebody and fucking walks up like the big motherfucker that he is, fucking Gaines and shit, walks up to the guy looking big as shit and just looks angry as shit and like does something to him. You don't see what he does, but there's a scream and a hi-ya.
I think that he probably wound up crushing his nuts.
I think
I don't know. Like he does,
jingleberries.
he picks, like he stalks towards him too. That was my favorite scene too.
Oh my
the
God.
warehouse scene is definitely one that they extended, and it does glorious greatness for you because when he stalks that guy, like he looks him up.
Squeeze the juice.
He looks him up and down like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck you up. You stabbed me in like, and dude, you know, this is like, no, he didn't fuck him.
He like looks him up and go,
I'm gonna fuck you later.
I'm gonna give you the bat.
I was gonna put you in the back seat of my car and fuck it. But no, he does. It's a very like intimidating moment that they cut out of the original. But in this moment, in the Ultimate Edition, he like stalks him and kind of looks at him and he's like, fucking nuts shot because I hate you. And we don't think he died. I don't think he died.
I don't think Batman killed him. And segue. Segue into something I wanted to talk about today. And I'm glad you're all here.
How you doing? What's important?
Shh. Let Daddy talk.
Shut your fucking face, you bitch. Oh! That wine smells like
my
fucking
head hurts
state
now.
yeast infection. I don't like
Sweaty.
it.
No, that's me.
Oh. I knew it.
I have a yeast infection. Purposeful
okay.
8. That's not a real thing.
Purposeful?
I don't think so. Monostat 7.
Monostat.
Monostat. On the stat. Monostat.
Stat, my yeast needs to be fixed. I don't know where it's
I'll
going.
never eat bread again.
There you go. Fucking bread.
Whew, goddamn.
Gotta fight them carbs.
What happened?
I don't know.
Who am I? What year is it? Anyways, segue into something I wanted to talk about today. The whole Batman kills thing. Listen to me fucking closely for the last goddamn time. Batman does not kill in this movie. I'm so sick of that shit. I'm so fucking sick of people saying, what do you say about Batman killing? Blah, 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 blah. Let me put this out there. If Batman did kill, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know what shit they change in these movies? If you look at the Avengers or whatever, you know how many possible people died in those movies during the Avengers Age of Ultron, the scene in the woods? You know how many fuckers possibly died?
Well, they harken back to
Probably died? Yeah, I mean, but, okay, so Batman doesn't kill in this movie. Superman doesn't kill in this movie. Number one argument, oh, he snaps that dude's neck. Oh, he's shooting people with a gun. Dream sequence. Fucking take that home with your mom and your goddamn lunch money and let her make you a fucking sandwich because you don't like what they're serving in the cafeteria. That was a dream sequence.
Maybe a fruit roll-up,
That
Mom.
shit didn't happen.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you. But the fact is, I get where they're talking about it is a dream sequence, but is it a dream sequence?
Yeah, fuck you. It's
it's
supposed to be a dream sequence.
It's supposed to be, but I mean, at some point, is it like alluding to what might happen?
They're saying, some people say it's not a dream sequence. Even if it's not a dream sequence,
Fuck it, I don't
maybe
care.
he snapped that dude's
No,
neck.
I mean,
maybe he snapped that dude's neck.
you
But
know what?
everybody he shot had armor head to fucking toe. He didn't kill anybody.
Not to mention the fact that Batman had just got betrayed by his own goddamn people, and he's like saying, fuck this shit. Machete, machine gun, up your ass. I'm done.
And
I'm done with
if
this.
it's not a dream sequence, then Batman's fucking dead. Superman rips his fucking heart out.
Well, you know, straight up what happened. He became Gerard Butler in the Preacher movie. So.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he killed all those innocent people. But aside from that, every other scene that you're talking about, there's one scene.
The one in the warehouse, though?
In the warehouse, he doesn't throw the grenade. He knocks the grenade out of the dude's hand, and while Batman's fighting other people, the dude reaches for the grenade and blows up. Batman did not kill him. Zack Snyder said it himself. He said Batman killed by proxy. Some stuff would happen, events would lead to other events. And by the way, I want to throw out something. One of my favorite movies, fucking amazing movie. You all love it too, The Dark Knight. At one point, Christian Bale is going through in the tumbler underground, chasing the Joker, and blowing up fucking cars in the parking lot, right? You remember the scene, there's two kids in the car and they're playing guns.
Yeah.
They're pretending guns. And when they pretend to shoot one of the cars, it blows up because Batman's exploding cars to get him out of their way. Those kids could have been in any one of those fucking cars.
Right.
So in Nolan's version that everybody loves and nobody talks shit about, he had no idea who was in those cars. He could have been killing fucking kids and nobody says shit. But Batman kills somebody because they tried to kill him and he hit him with a car, or he hit a car and that car hit them and fell on top of somebody and killed him. Batman kills in this movie. Batman doesn't kill anybody in this fucking movie, okay?
First of all, I don't care if he did or not. I don't care.
I don't either, but
because the fact is, this is a different Bruce Wayne. This is a different Batman. This is a grizzled, fucking done end of his rope. I lost my goddamn house. It's crumbling up. I don't have the money to go to Lowe's and fix it up anymore, Alfred. What the fuck
Can't
do you
work,
want?
bitch. I'm all broken up here.
I can't do nothing, Alfred.
Halloween.
I got no money. I got no money to go to Lowe's and Home Depot. I'm putting all my money into my back cave. So I'm tired of these motherfuckers throwing grenades at me, so I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking tennis it, racket it back to them, and it's up to them to catch it or fucking get away from it.
And Superman, everybody says, "Oh, Superman killed that guy when he tackled him." Like in the Africa scene where he tackles the guy that's holding Lois Lane hostage. Let me tell you this guy's so fast, okay, that he can literally fly around the earth and change fucking time. He can Back to the Future that shit. That's how fast he is. Are you telling me that Superman couldn't, after tackling that guy at the speed he was going, turn his back so that that wall and shit hit him and didn't kill the guy? Easily, like nothing. And if you're gonna argue that scene again, I go back to the Avengers and all the Marvel movies that I love too. They could have easily killed 100 fucking people in every single one of those scenes.
Well, I mean, we're getting off topic because I don't want to make this all about Marvel and DC thing because the fact is
I'm saying they don't kill anybody.
Yeah, I know, but we're lovers of both, so it doesn't matter. We
swing both ways on that comic book shit.
We're risque.
Not in real life, though.
We don't give a fuck. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. No, it's like, but you know what? Look, I mean, it doesn't matter because I don't want to get drawn into that debate. I just want to talk about the Ultimate Edition, what they added. I will say overall, like specific scenes, I can't remember everything that they did specifically, but there are moments in it. Like I said, they give a lot of backstory or a lot more motivation to certain characters and why they do what they do and why it's like this. And they give you more of a completed scope movie.
They do.
And I like it a lot better. I think that it sucks that the censors were such Puritan bitch heads that they were like, we have vaginas and we don't want you to fucking put this out there because it'd be rated R and kids aren't like the little moments that they added. They're more subtle than anything else. There's a lot of subtle moments in it that just add overall to the flavor of the movie. That doesn't really detract, but it adds. I think that if Snyder had had his moment, if he had his vision, and they had just said, you know what, we're going to cut you some slack, we're not getting a rated R version, I don't care, even if they had, it'd been fine, but just, we're going to cut you some slack, just put out the vision you want, this would have been a lot more, or a lot less controversial, because it answers some questions that people had.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the rated R version, I don't think the rated R part would have even made a difference in the movie other than that badass warehouse scene. But the filling in of scenes. Apparently, I read something the other day, just a blurb, that Zack Snyder said that DC or Warner Brothers did not want to let him make a 3-hour movie, so he had to cut stuff out of it. And you can see that in this cut. Now, for me, this is the 5th time I've seen this movie, right? I saw it 4 times in the original version, and then I watched this version. For me, it adds a little bit. The only thing it really does to me is it fills in the Africa storyline, the Nairobi storyline, very well, so that's not, it's a little less choppy.
They also show you that the girl was lying. Yeah. She was being blackmailed by Luther.
Yeah, and they fill out that scene a lot better, and there's a couple little Easter eggs. Jimmy Olsen. I actually say Jimmy Olsen's
I actually liked, Jimmy Olsen, but I also actually liked the fact that they showed Luther to be more of the mastermind, that we all knew what he would done in the original cut, but this one you actually see exactly how he fucking Riddlered this shit out. Like, he really went deep and got everybody on his, like, he blackmailed that girl, the bullet casing, and why that was such a, like, a lot of people in the original cut, they were like, well, what does it matter about where the bullet comes from? It took them a while to figure out, because the audience had to deduce what's going on. But in this one, it kind of just lays it out for you.
It does. And while I think 2 things about that. I don't think it changes the movie that significantly for me. I don't think if you fucking hate and detest this movie, I don't think that this is going to change that for you. I think that that's bullshit.
Too bad.
But I do think that what this does, I still think, you could have taken the whole African scene out, the whole Nairobi scene, you could have taken that all out, and you still could have made the movie 20 minutes shorter. The entire thing, just use any other type of storytelling element to make that happen. I do think they could have patched that up better. But I will say this. What I think it added to the movie, the extra scenes, was going back to Christopher Nolan in those movies. The best thing that they did was add a sense of dread. The shots panning away from the city in The Dark Knight when the Joker's doing his thing, and that music playing over top of it, you got a sense of panic. You got a sense of shit's dark here, shit's crazy. In this movie, the scenes that they cut out, they put that sense back in this movie, because if you look at it, the bat symbol, when the guy goes to jail and he gets shivved and everything's rigged and everything's dark.
You see the whole thing. You see why it's
everyone's
like that,
crooked. Everything's so much darker, and the music over top of all of those scenes is so dark and it's so daunting. It adds a real atmosphere that the other movie was missing. So that's the main thing I think it added.
Yeah, as far as Santos, he's talking about Santos.
Yeah.
When Clark Kent goes and talks to the widow of Santos, you know, that, and you see in the Ultimate Edition how he's like basically telling her, like, you know, maybe you can talk to him, this Batman character, in a diplomatic way. And she's like, the men like that don't understand anything but a fist, which goes back to why he had to fight Batman to get him to understand. And that helps a lot. And that actually makes sense about, okay, why Superman had to do what he had to do. And also, even when Clark Kent is assigned to go and cover the football game, right? And he goes to originally cover the football game, but then he winds up in the apartment with those people, and he's like, you shouldn't be out tonight.
He's playing Batman.
I love that fucking shit though. But now with the scratch off ticket, he's like, you shouldn't be out tonight. There's a hunter, and he's like a violent dude. He's like, what does that mean? He's like, look at my scratch off ticket. I lost, but it's a Batman sequel. But it's still cool to see that because, like I said, the little subtle things that add overall with the scope and why it builds it up to a nice plateau of what you have in the final product.
Yeah, it's a classic case. They over edited a little bit. I mean, they cut a few things off here that at eyesight, at first glance, don't mean a lot. If you're the director and you've watched this movie 100 times trying to get it right, get it perfect set, you think you can clip off a couple seconds here and it won't mean nothing. But ultimately, the overall feel and the scope, things felt a little bit more jumpy and choppy in the original version. They're a little bit more smoothed out now.
I love this fucking film. I love the movie no matter what. Batman vs Superman is one of my favorites. This is a 10 for me. I fucking loved it that much. I will not buy, why would you? I'm not going to watch the original version now that I have this version to watch. I will watch this fucking film every fucking 3 months.
So what you're saying is you gave it a 9.5 the first time.
Yeah, now it's
for 10. You. This raised it a half a point.
Yeah, this little tweak here and there, I think it made it a perfect movie for me.
I'll go there with you.
Because you know why? I understand the hate. I understand people, they've accused Zack Snyder, which I read this not long ago. A lot of people have accused Zack Snyder of hating Superman so much to the fact that he hates the whole Boy Scout thing, that he wants to kill him off and make him kind of a bullshit, like a dude that gets murdered, and like he's gonna try to do the right thing, but even to the point where he wants to make him so gritty, where he's like flying away from Lois. He's like, nobody stays like innocent in this world. Like, so Zack Snyder is a hater. Actually, and then somebody went on to accuse Zack Snyder of saying he's darker than Frank Miller. No, actually, the fact is Frank Miller was the one that made it like this universe.
Frank Miller was way darker.
Snyder just took what he had in the material and presented it in a way on film that people could relate to as much as they could with Superman. The thing is, I think that Zack Snyder, if anything else, respects the fuck out of Superman and loves Superman. And then there was an article that somebody pointed out to this person that was saying that. Read this article about why Zack Snyder loves Superman. Is the fact that he said, I didn't read the article. I'm just gonna be honest with you, but I think I think it was basically to the point that he used a symbol of hope that Superman represents. This uncorruptible guy, this guy that just wants to do good with this power that he has and just trying everything he wants, and he wants to live the simple life that his father Kevin Costner had, but he can't do that because he has all these amazing gifts. He's just doing the best he can with what he has, and it's not enough sometimes because no matter what, if he fucking farts in the wind wrong, people hate him. Yeah. So I mean, I think that Zack Snyder was like, well, imagine this in a world where superheroes did exist, if they did exist in our world, and having this alien that loves our planet, loves the people that are on this planet, that's doing everything they can to make the world a better place, but is hated on no matter what they do and how much they try. They're still hated on in this symbol of hope that I want to rip that people. What was that one movie? He's like, people love to see a hero fall. They'll build you up and then they want to tear you down. And then that goes back to the mentality of what I think his idea of on superheroes are. So I don't think Zack Snyder hates Superman at all. I think that Zack Snyder, if anything else, I think the movie is full of hope. I think it's full of a lot of hope. Yeah. Even towards the end. And I think this movie fully represents it in the Ultimate Edition.
Watching it, the number one, I think, from the get-go, from the start. And by the way, did anybody else notice that Don Mazzetti of Bro Science killed Batman's parents? Mm-hmm. That was straight up, it looks just like
that is Bro Science.
Yeah, I know. But
when you want some pearls, you shoot a girl in the face.
But watching it from the start, from Batman's, or Bruce Wayne's deep introspective moment there, when he's talking, from the first scene of the movie, I couldn't help but think, just watching it, it's so dark and it's so serious and it's so different, this movie is, that it will go down in the annals of history.
Yeah, annals.
The
annals.
Annals. It'll go down in the annals of history as one of the most misrepresented and misunderstood movies of all time. I think that 20 years down the road, maybe superhero movies aren't that big of a deal anymore, and comic book fans of that age are going back and watching these movies. I think that they watch this and they look at Batman vs. Superman and they go, wow, this was so different. I like how dark it is. I like how they talk about gods and devils. Ultimately, you gave this movie a 9.5 originally. This new Ultimate Cut bumps it up to you to a 10. It gives you a half-point score. For me, it does the exact same thing. I gave it an 8.5 originally. Now I give it a 9. It makes it a little bit smoother. It adds a little bit of dread to it. And the rated R scenes are pretty cool, even though there's only a couple of them. I wouldn't say you had to buy both versions if you already had the first version, but it does add some stuff to it. And I think some detractors will have a little bit of the choppy editing fixed for them. They'll like that. But what I will say about this movie is that, what the fuck? I totally forgot what I was going to say. Hang on.
But you loved it. That you want to have sex with it.
I do want to have sex with it.
Put that fucking KY jelly on it and do things.
I want to touch it deeply. Some of the problems I had with the movie still remain. I think that the penultimate scene could have been a little bit longer, which they added a couple punches and a push to it. But I think that ultimately, the scene where Batman's got his foot on Superman's neck, I think that could have been written just a little bit better. I understood what was happening. I get it. But the way that they wrote the whole Martha scene, why did you say that name?
Because I'm scared.
The way that they wrote that whole fucking scene, I just think it could have been written a little bit clearer, and they could have given a little bit more expose to that situation. It felt a little bit forced and a touch corny, and I get why people make fun of it. But ultimately, this movie it's been unfairly fucking treated.
Well, the thing is, the whole scene with the Martha thing, Mike and I talked about briefly off camera and talked about it every once in a while. Like even that scene, like we talked about it after the movie was over. I think he said that because he was in shock. He didn't know what to do, and he was just fucking scared. I mean, if I had some big bulky guy had his neck or his fucking, I'd probably say my mom's real name too. I'd probably be like, Norma.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know why you wouldn't just be like, my mom. He's gonna kill my mom. Why would you say they're gonna kill Martha? It just doesn't make sense.
I think maybe it's more humanistic for him to say that. Maybe. I don't know, because if he said my mom, he might have been thinking, your alien mom, you piece of shit. But anyway. I love this movie. I think the movie is really great. I think that this movie adds overall to the film. I think it sets the right tone early on, that the tone that it needed to have right away. And I just want to say this. Mike and I can love fucking this movie, and we can love the fucking Marvel franchise that came out too. If you want to go out there and love Civil War and give it a 10, and you want to give this a 10, if you want to give goddamn Thor Dark World, which I don't know why you would, a 10, and then another movie, it's up to you. It's fine. Nobody should hate because it's different companies that are fucking doing what they're doing differently. And I will let you know, really quick, everybody's talking shit about, well, they need to go back and do this and make it lighthearted. Did they not do that with Superman Returns, with Bryan Singer's fucking Brandon Routh's Superman Returns? Did it not suck a dick?
Well, he said
it tried its best to do what Christopher Reeve did in the 70s, and as much
that's
as
a
beloved,
DC Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That's a DC movie trying to be Marvel, right there.
Yeah, and as beloved, and I loved the Christopher Reeve DC 70s film of Reeve. It was great, no doubt. But it worked for that time. You have to update it. If you want to stay relevant in this world, you got to do something different. And you know what? You cannot blame Snyder saying, you know what? I looked at what Singer did. Singer's a good director in his own right. But when they tried to recreate what Reeve had in the 70s and make it exactly verbatim, what they did with the whole, like even the opening sequence in the universe and all the lettering, what do people say? Oh, it's boring, been done, rehashed, reused. So what the fuck are you talking about? You cannot make him all about life and liberty and justice and oh my god.
And people will go, like I said, this movie will stand the test of time. People will go back, when somebody who's never seen any superhero movies will go back and they'll watch all the X-Men, and they'll watch all the Avengers, and they'll watch all the Marvel things. They'll be like, well, Marvel planned that shit out well, and Marvel did plan that shit out well.
Superman
But
Returns.
when they come across Batman vs. Superman, they're going to go, oh shit, this is different.
But
this is something, or this is a little bit original. It's got, yeah, sure, it's got problems, but I like this. I like the feel of this. It's a little bit different. I don't want to see them fucking copy and paste the same thing Marvel did.
So first off,
come on!
Superman Returns, I like Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh's a good actor. I feel bad that he got stuck in a role like that because it was just a rehash, reused bullshit thing that he got stuck in. But Superman Returns will be a genital wart on people's, when they go back and look, they'll go like, that should not be there. I'm going to go to the doctor and have that removed. Just like probably,
that's my cat!
Maybe, I was going to say maybe even the Punisher 1989, but I like the Punisher 1989. With
now we're getting really deep.
I know, I'm just saying, okay, so end of the day, 10 for me, 9 for, alright.
Start talking about Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. We've gone too far.
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh
god.
But yeah, ultimately, and by the way, Jenna Malone's character is completely fucking pointless. Didn't need to be in the fucking movie. Just real quick,
Sucker punches.
She's just somebody who's there. She looks like the Robin from The Dark Knight Returns, but she's not. So comment down below, let us know what you guys think about this. I know we didn't go over every single change. By the way, it was kind of cool how they had on the billboard, "The end is nigh." That's a nod to the Watchmen.
That's cool, yeah.
That's pretty neat. It felt Jokerish to me for that. And the pier, just the situation of it being on the pier and them talking about Gotham's pier, I felt some Aquaman inside me.
Did you not see? Well, the cool thing.
Aquadigio.
Why not? You want him in you?
No.
Yeah, he was in you. Did you have bubble?
Yeah,
farts?
but I've got dragons and I'm gonna be queen soon.
Did you have water bubbles in your ass? But no, it was cool though. There was that one scene when they pulled back. You saw the AMC chemical or Ace chemicals.
Right.
That was cool to see. You know, the Joker. They a little nod. And I did like. Actually, well, I will say one thing. They showed why Batman picked that specific spot because he tells Wonder Woman it was abandoned. And you see it's abandoned. So see, it's not all about fucking death and destruction.
It's not all about butthole pleasures.
Yeah.
Comment down below, let us know what you guys thought. Did this change things for you if you hated it? Did it change things for you if you loved it? Whatever you guys think about this, comment down below, let us know your thoughts. This movie, everybody's got something to say about this movie. Everybody got something to fucking say about this movie. We love your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn money.
Nobody says opposite in this world.